Hey guys, and all welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going through the round 19 AFL fantasy trade targets. These videos are probably going to become a little bit quicker because, in a sense, a lot of us are not really looking for rookies, or there's not many rookies presenting themselves. Alongside the fact that a lot of us are, at this point, I don't know if anyone saw the was it Venn diagram by who was it again that did it, but yeah, a Venn diagram on all of the injured players, and just the fact of the matter that there's so many guys. I think it was Jaden that might have done it in the end. Let me just see if I can figure it out here and get it up for you guys, because it was quite a bad one. There was like something like, I want to say 99% of the community that has at least, in the top 10%, that has at least one guy injured. Just looking at it here, let's just bring this up for you before we jump into it. So as you can see here from Jaden, let's make this just a little bit bigger for you guys here. 1 second. As you can see, 10 players in the top 10k that somehow do not have a Nick Martin, a Jason Horne-Francis, a Connor Rozee, or a Tristan Cherry. That's pretty damn lucky. Martin, ACL, done for the year. Jason Horne-Francis, don't know what the injury is. Think it might be a broken foot from memory. Then you've got Connor Rozee. He's a test with a finger. We almost just have to hope that he plays. It might be even a broken hand. And then Cherry had his 3-game suspension upheld at the tribunal. So he's gone ski for 3 games. Opens up Brody Grundy VC, just saying, for anyone that has him. Which will be probably... Well, Brody Grundy's like 200k more, so people might struggle with that. But that's where a lot of this video is going to be centered around. I don't even think there's much point going through the rookies. Let's just show you them. Cooper Harvey, he's 405k, so he's pretty much useless anyway because he's so much inflated in price almost in a way. The best rookie is almost Jefferson at 242k, who's coming off the back of 6 games played and a 53. So yeah, that's pretty much that. And that's all for the rookies. Now we get into the coaches, not consistency. Let's go to coach's choice. And we go to ins. Number 1 in, Brody Grundy, 9.4k trade in. He's got the easiest game to the point that you're almost just saying, yep, I will do it and I will sacrifice elsewhere. He's got the captaincy at the moment for me, so I'm just going to switch that to a VC so that when I actually change my teams, he will end up as a VC. So yeah, he is the obvious one. Lockie Whitfield probably saves a lot of us time because he's at 922k. That'll be a straight swap, and I'm probably going to consider at the moment because I do have Martin alongside Tristan Cherry. I will consider. I can't even get in Lockie Whitfield, which kind of sucks just looking at this, because I don't have another forward. That kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't have another forward, so unless I was to, that does suck. Just thinking about it, I'm going to have to go with Ruckman and Nick Martin out, and there isn't going to be much options there just looking about it. I will discuss that tomorrow more in depth, but you may see me scrapping around just a little bit to find someone. But coach's choice, those two are the obvious trade-ins if you somehow don't have to get in a forward. The obvious forward trade-in, well, the good thing for me is, well, I can get like a Louis Meek or something like that who plays Port Adelaide. We'll see who comes up in the ruck against them. Who does Essendon play, as a matter of fact? Let me just see who does... Well, I can just actually go to the outs and find Nick Martin. They play GWS. That'll be Briggs. That's not a good... I should say, who does the West Coast Eagles play? Because I'm trying to find who are the ruckmen that I want. They play Richmond. Could you go Nank, potentially? That could be an interesting... Let's actually just look at Nank and look at his ruck run. We'll bring up the ruck run in a second on DFS as well. Collingwood, oh, that's not it's not the best ruck run. If you've looked, who's got North Melbourne in not this game, but in game after that? I'm trying to think of a ruck that's could go Romo. Romo has let's actually just check who Romo has for rucks, and then we'll go from there. If we look, and I'm still scrolling, Romo has... Oh, but he's got Max Heath backing him up as well, who's taking time out of him. So you can't probably even go there, even though he's got Geelong and also North Melbourne and also Richmond and also Essendon in his run home. You could probably almost risk it there with Romo, but that's not even the best either there. So it's like, why are people bringing in Horn Francis when he's out for the year? I don't know why people would. I guess he is traded out by 2K more than traded in, but still. So the ruck line is kind of chaos. If you think about it that way, you could go Gorney again and bring him back in because he does have Carlton and then St Kilda, Eagles, Dogs, Hawthorn, Collingwood. So anyway, let's go through. And yes, that's logged in. Let's go to season long. And then we're just going to hunt straight for the rucks here. We'll go through the forwards and just see if there's anyone there. But if we go to the rucks, Geelong, Sydney, North Melbourne, Melbourne. Melbourne have a tough ruck this week, but it opens up. So you may consider getting in Max Gawn for just Tristan Cherry there. That could be a run there to consider there. You could also consider Richmond, who's got the really nice matchup and then really struggles. Who has really good matchups this week, I think is the best thing to consider. Geelong have a really good matchup. Who's that? Richmond have a really good matchup. Essendon have a really good matchup. Then you've also got GWS having a really good matchup. And who does Sydney have? North Melbourne. North Melbourne is considered where are they? North Melbourne are considered orange, but that'll be green for the next couple of weeks. So who does North Melbourne have in the next little bit? They've also got Geelong. And as we said, they also have the likes of St Kilda, which would make that run for Rowan Marshall if you're willing to risk it with Max Heath in the side. And if we just go to this, because Brodie Grundy has been a massive ruck and dominated on the weekend. If we just go to this and we go to, we want to find the ruck contests because we're hunting for the St Kilda ruck contests. And we go here and you see this. That's not too good. That is not good at all that is the case. That's not something we like to see. And obviously Max Heath is going to ruck more, or ruck again this week. So, and Rowan Marshall is a 60% ruck. I want to see this as well because Mitch Owen has sort of restricted him in the past. When he is a 60% ruck, if we just go through here, 60% ruck here, 60% ruck here, 32% here in the injury game. We will just disregard this, will we? Tog, 83%. I wouldn't disregard that. And then we're just looking down here, 54, 66 as well. And then we go down even further here, 55% here. And then you get, what's this, 21? Or is that 71? 71 there. 65 here as well. And then you've got a 59 here as well. And that's starting to get into 2023 territory. And then you've got 60 here, 67% Tog. We will get rid of that. 68, 61, and then 66 here as well. And then you've got also the 68% here. That was 71% Tog. We'll get rid of that one because that could have been 5-10 points unders. And then 44 here. That's a really bad game. But here, you can see pretty much when he plays under, it's actually not too bad. All things considered, it's not too bad. And when you consider it that he's got, arguably, you would say now that that North are turning into an easier ruck. He's got, you would argue, where are they? St Kilda are a plus 1.03. You would argue that he's got the, four or so of the easier matchups. And Geelong, we don't know what's going to happen with them, what they're going to name. They could easily name an easier ruck matchup. But yeah, I genuinely think that he could be onto something here. And also, if we just go here, I just want to also check what the go is with the actual ruck plus minus and to see if it's changing in a way across 5 and 10 games. So you got across 10 games, you got Geelong plus 4.91, sorry. The last couple, they have been a little bit more restrictive. And then if you go the last 5 games, you will see that they are probably more neutral. They are in the last 5 games plus 5.6, plus 5.85. And that's mostly because Goldie went 92. You even had Nankervis go 105. So, yeah, I think they could be a pretty good matchup for the likes of Rowan Marshall. If we go to Rowan Marshall and we look at his last games against Geelong, he had a 142 on 74% ruck time. Could be something that happens. He also had against them, just looking here, He had a 84% ruck time for a 131 against them. Probably not going to happen. And then the other time against them that he last played against them was a 141 on 82% ruck time. That's probably not going to occur. And do we have any others here? Just looking quietly. And we also have a 118 on 80%. So it looks much like he's going to be a guy. And we also have a 91 on 54%. That's probably more in the sort of area that you could see. I just think that he'll be fine in the end of it. And yeah, if we look at him against the likes of Geelong here, you'll see he scored 100 pretty much in every single game against them for the last 5 games. And then a 91 as well there. So I'm not too concerned about Rowan Marshall. He's probably the ruck that I would target. I know that we've got the likes of, if we go to not that one, if we go to, I think it's this one, and look at Fremantle here and see that they are where are they? A minus 0.41. They've got Collingwood. The Eagles next week is probably when you can target him, Luke Jackson. But aside from that, I don't really like the fixture to end there, especially because he's got Carlton, and Carlton are a dual ruck at the moment, and he should probably struggle there. But it is what it is. He might even just be able to play as a forward and kick goals against Carlton at this rate. So that's pretty much all the rucks. Whitfield is the nominal Connor Rozee replacement. I think that's pretty obvious. And then we get to the mid forwards. You got Luke Parker here, who's actually producing for the last couple of weeks, 862k. He could be your replacement, and then that's how you get for a Nick Martin or something, because he actually has been scoring pretty well. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be one of the ones that doesn't really cop any attention from Sydney. Last time out, he went 113. So he's definitely a guy you could potentially even look at there for that replacement. You could also look at the likes of Rankin, who's got Gold Coast this week. Gold Coast could be a little bit annoying for him. But then he's got Port Adelaide, Hawthorn, Eagles, Collingwood, and North to round out. That could be an actual interesting matchup to go for. I would say maybe hold on a week with Rankin, because that Port Adelaide matchup's in a week, and they have quite a few injuries, so that could help him out there. But I'd just hold on a week with Rankin. No 73 break even. You're probably burning 20-30k to hold on a week, but I would just hold on a week. Tim English could potentially be in that ruck debate, but I don't think so, to be honest with you. Scored 118 last week and a 116. Struggled against the Swans, but aside from that, he's done really well. But at that 1.19 million price tag, 119 million price tag, kind of a little bit inflated, I would say. Dan Curtin's done pretty well, but then had that really bad game in between, so I wouldn't touch him either as a primo, because he's not a primo. Darcy Cameron, I've also looked at as a ruck, but again, similar process. Don't really think he's going to be able to stand up and be that big ruck across the back end, in considering they've got a minus 1.78. And he's also considering just resting him as well, is McRae, so don't think I want to go there. So there's that. Now, I can't, because I don't have enough forwards. I was going to say I could actually get a sort of a midfielder, etc., and then just sort of run it back and have one less, I guess you would say, one less midfielder, etc., because I'd be able to shift someone into the forward line, but I don't have that. So maybe some people are able to jump on a midfielder here. I can't, because of Jason Horne-Francis. No, not because of Jason Horne-Francis, because of Nick Martin, sorry. That other one, I got stuffed over with one in one game and one in the other format, which kind of sucks. So we're looking for, I want to see, what did he score? 49. I'm not jumping on that. So yeah, I think that's probably about it. Like, you could jump on a Chad Warner, but he's not really been producing those big high, like 120 plus scores. He's sort of just producing 90s that aren't really difference makers. Not jumping on Taj Houghton, and there's no other sort of forward. Let's just quickly look at the forwards here, just to sort of check. But yeah, it's basically Petrarca, McRae. I would say Parker's probably the pod that I would say is sort of coming out a little bit. And I would say just at his price, he could go on a run, especially with all the injuries for North Melbourne. If we go to the AFL injury list here as well, let's just check out the injury list for North Melbourne here. Archer season, Bergman season, Core, LDU's a test as well. Nikolaki, knee, TBC. So he's actually gone down a little bit, hasn't he? If we actually look at that. Yeah, he's gone down and won't be, well, he's an ongoing watch, sorry. So that's not good. As well as him, as well as Cherry being suspended. So yeah, it will be interesting to see who they actually select because they've got quite a lot of tools out. So that should help Sydney. But yeah, I just do not think many are going to be in the way for the likes of, they'll regain Wardlaw and they'll also potentially regain Davis-Uniacke, which could impact Parker a little bit. So that's a watch on that space with their team news. Who they have available will be interesting, I would say, because Parker could be directly impacted if we just go here. If we look at when they do have everyone available, what is their CBAs? How much is Parker getting? Could be interesting just to see. If we look here, Luke Parker is basically not very much impacted at all. If we look, it's more Tom Powell. It's kind of just a mix of whatever the heck happens, to be honest with you. They've got way too many midfielders. And they push out Harry Sheasel when they should be pushing out guys like Jai Simpkin and other guys like that. So it'll be interesting. You'd hope for, if you were picking up Parker, that one of these guys misses, and that may switch me back to Rankin, but we'll see on that front there. Anyway, aside from that, don't think there's too many others to really talk through. Don't think many will be looking at defenders this week, even though Connor Rozee is a test and probably out. Because just all the other injuries, like look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, and then the 2 rookies as well that I want to trade out. I've got basically 4 guys that aren't going to play, it looks like, 4 premiums that aren't going to play, and then also one of the worst scoring premiums that I've seen in a while that actually played a full game, and then 2 rookies. And then you've also got Doherty and Mills. I am just, my season is cooked, and that's probably why you're going to see more FLW content in the future. This weekend, especially as we get down into positions, etc. I am looking at if I can actually get ahead of recordings, etc. early in the week. I am looking at starting on Wednesday nights a AFLW stream, but that may become in the next couple of weeks once Supercoach starts to die down, and I probably take it off the channel and just put it AFL and AFLW fantasy probably in the near future. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow for my team reveals as well as my tips video and the Supercoach trade target. So I'll see you guys then. Bye guys.